Almost spilled my drink. And welcome!
Smooth. Good start.
Look, it's hard to get water in the void. I've got to keep it safe. Keep it secret.
Safe.
Keep it safe. No corners to hide here.
I tell you what it is like in the void, though. It's spooky!
Spooky!
It's spooky in the void!
Spooky in space?
Spooks in space! Space.
What are we doing?
We're having a fucking space spook spectacular.
Exactly. Space Spook Spectacular squared.
Because we're talking about two films across two talky things.
Two talky
Two talky
episodes?
things. I forgot the word podcast. Like a fucking professional.
So we'll keep the second one a secret for you viewers who want to stick around to the end and who want to watch another one. Thank you. I don't know how much free time you've got at the moment. Thank you for slotting us into your rich podcast schedule.
Yes.
Family and friends.
Appreciate it. Also, we love you. Stay sexy.
Family and friends. That's an awkward thing to say when you think about it. Literally everyone who is subscribed to this channel at the point of recording this are related to us.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Stay sexy, family.
Good lord. Alright, so what are we talking about first?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon.
The event on the horizon. The horizon of an event.
Yes.
The horizon that wants to hurl your fucking eyes out.
Oh, god damn it.
Alright.
So this movie came out in the late 90s. And you asked me if I wanted to watch it.
I did.
You know, this is what we do in the void. We watch movies because there's nothing fucking else to do in the void.
Look, every week the Void delivers some movies. I found Event Horizon. It broke me. I found Event Horizon. And I said, do you want to watch this film? I heard the Void's whispers and it's nice.
Yeah. Like, I think maybe after watching it, maybe I had heard of it, but at the time I had no fucking recollection. I'd never even heard of this film. I was like, the fuck?
No, I'd only ever heard of this film in passing.
Yeah. So yeah, fucking Event Horizon, hey?
Look, do you want to attempt to explain to the lovelies
Oh yeah, I'll give
what
it
this movie is about?
I'll give it a fucking lash.
Alright.
I'll give it a whirl. Alright, so there's a ship that was called the Event Horizon. This is set in the future, obviously. And it was designed to go, like, travel faster than light. But one day, it disappeared during its first test. It fucking vanished. Everyone's like, oh no, where'd it go? So, the doctor who made it, Dr. Weir, 7 years later? Why?
Yeah, 7 years later.
7 years later. He links up with a crew called the Lewis Clark, was the name of the ship.
Yeah.
Led by Captain Miller.
Captain Matrix.
Who is the best character, the most logical character in one of these
We'll fucking get into that, because there's a moment.
Thinks fucking logically.
Yeah.
To pretty much, like, go and find the Event Horizon, because there's been, like, a blip, like a signal from us come up. Then they find the ship, and then things get spooky.
Get spooky.
They get spooky. And then, yeah. Spooky in shoes.
Spooky in shoes and survivors are a question.
Spooky in shoes. What sort of shoes does he have, do you think?
Gravity boots.
Gravity boots.
Those
yeah.
fucking gravity boots.
Oh, platform gravity boots. And they got spikes on them.
Oh.
Spooky shoes.
Talking about weird shoes now?
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so where do we want to start?
Oh.
Pulling this thing apart like we pull eyeballs out.
Like we pull our fucking subjects apart. Holy shit. Alright, well, let's just keep it nice and simple. Did you like it, Luke?
I enjoyed it, yeah. You mentioned that like there was an original cut of this movie, which will probably never see the light of day.
No. Not probably.
We
will never see the light of day. The salt mines destroyed it.
The salt mines destroyed it. I can't believe that's fucking real.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
For a fun fact, any of you deep Event Horizon fans who might not know this and who might have stumbled upon this, there was a director's cut of this film because apparently the film was way too intense, which I understand. You might have caught it. There were some flashes of intense gore and torture. Apparently, those were a lot longer and a lot more explicit and a lot more not obscured in the original cut. And the studio did not like that. They were like, no one's gonna fucking dig this. No one's gonna want to see it. Get rid of it, and 20 minutes of story. And that cut was stored in a salt mine, and that salt mine eroded the film. It's gone now.
I just like love the idea of this film being put in a box and like wheeled into a mine like the end of fucking Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like no, I did really like it. There was some stuff which I really liked. But like you said, I think it's a shame that there's those bits of story and those other scenes that have been cut out because there were a few points where I would have liked to see just a bit more.
Well, see, no, I agree with you there. Like, we'll get into the nitty and gritty of it, but overall, I agree. I really liked the movie. It was fun. It was that kind of 90s weird you don't get nowadays.
Yeah.
I feel it's harder to find movies that are a bit strange, released anywhere near the mainstream that are easy to get to anyway. I find like more artsy movies nowadays are more nothing's happening, and that's the movie. It's like, here's a realistic human experience. But it's boring, because humans are boring, because we don't do exciting shit all the time. But there were certainly moments in this film where you're like, oh, wow, this is moving quickly.
Yeah. And then like even the end, sort of the end's just like, oh, it's done.
Yeah, I think, I do feel like a lot of it would have been cut from the end. If we were taking bets, I would say a good fucking chunk of this movie comes out of the climax. Because that's when shit starts getting fucked.
Yeah.
This is one of the most shit's getting fucked movie climaxes I've ever seen, where it just goes, whew!
Very quickly.
You've gone from having a pretty bad time to having a really fucking bad time!
I'm gonna spoil this 23-year-old movie and talk about like why it's fucked, and that is because the way the ship travels is that it folds space-time and then like jumps between 2 points where it's been folded. And in jumping through these points, it passed through hell.
Pretty much. That's the theory of it. It pierced not just space-time,
but dimensions.
but yeah, like a dimensional layer, and enters a dimension. I would say, to give it like a parallel. You know about Hellraiser?
I know of it. Yes.
Pinhead and stuff.
Yes.
In that movie, there exists like a dimension where pain and pleasure are one, and there are all these like demonic, weird, fucked up gods. I'd say it's that dimension. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see little bits of video of the original crew, and they're clawing out their eyes, they're shoving their hands down each other's throats.
They're getting cut to pieces.
They're getting fucking cut to pieces.
They're getting flayed.
They are getting flayed. Their flesh is ending up all over the walls.
And no one really talks about it.
No one talked about it!
Because they get to the ship, they go to the cockpit, and then there's just body parts just strewn across a wall. And
I wouldn't even call it body parts. It's just like...
Viscera.
It wasn't... Viscera. That's the right fucking word. It was viscera sprawled in like a weird spider web of flesh. And no one looks at it and goes, huh.
Yeah, well...
That's fucked.
Wait, do we see them react to it? Because I know...
No, you don't.
Yeah, we see a character and like there's the classic thing like the light flashes and you see what's behind them and you see all the stuff. And then, like, I think all we get is later in the film someone's like, oh, what happened here?
Exactly.
And then they spend all their time in that room with all the dead stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe the crew just got distracted by the floating, like, flayed cut-up man. But come on, when you see a wall of sinew, you address the wall of sinew at some point. Even just like a, that's fucking weird, huh? Jesus. Oh man, and I think that's one of the points where like the cut of the movie is just a bit aggressive. You know, there's a lot of points where you're like, ooh, there's some shit that you're addressing that's like needs to be addressed more. I really enjoyed the setup for the film. I don't know. There's a lot about this movie where it feels real. It feels like elements of this film are taken just like from people, you know? I really liked the difference in the very beginning of the film when the doctor, the guy who
played by Sam
Neill, who designed Event Horizon, who one needs a fucking therapist.
Yeah.
Because the inside of that ship is disturbing. It's a problem.
We'll get into that. I want to talk about that at length.
Alright, cool. But you see, it's all too common a thing in a film where it's like, this is the new recruit, and everyone's like, oh, a little bit of joshing, but we'll be buddies by the end of it. Fuck that!
Yeah, I love how like this crew is so pissed off with him in the first place. Like, we're about to go on leave, and you called out for this shit.
Well, because that's how that would work. There's so many instances of that in this movie, where it's like, no, that's how that would go down. Because if it's like, it's never like, we're going to go on a secret space mission to recover the Event Horizon. Everyone's like, whoa, what? Really? We're doing good work. It's going to be great. Everyone in this movie is like, fuck you. This is like months of travel. It takes them like 70 days to get out there.
Yeah.
Admittedly, they're in stasis at the time, but that sucks. That's time out of their lives. And when he says it's the Event Horizon, it's not like, whoa, cool.
What? They're just like,
movie. It's like, alright, either that's bullshit, or we really didn't want to do this anyway, and now you're getting us to do actual bullshit. What the fuck?
Yeah.
There's a really appropriate attitude to these films. And, not films, film singular. But it makes them all unique, you know? Every single character had a different personality, and funnily enough, like, I'm running through them in my head, and none of them were cannon fodder. I can remember every single character in this movie.
Yeah.
Even
I don't know if I can necessarily name them, but I remember them.
I can't name most of the people in my life, let alone movie characters. But what's important is I can actually remember each of the characters and their personality. If you showed me pictures of the characters from this movie, like, that's this dude, their job was this is how they handled this situation, this is how they lived and died, and this is how they did it. It was like, for example, I loved how there's this pilot, the pilot for, what was the name of the ship again?
Lewis Clark.
Lewis
Clark.
Yeah. Yeah. He was really, like, brass and kind of hot-headed and was very reactionary to a lot of stuff. Kind of like, he was your dude on the end of the bar at the pub. And there's this moment just before he dies. And he dies taking an explosion to the face.
Oh, yep.
When he pulls up the hatch, he sees the bomb, and he sees he's got 5 seconds.
Smitty, that's the character.
Smitty? And he doesn't cry.
Wait a minute. What? He was played by Sean Pertwee.
He was!
Oh my god. I related to the Third Doctor. Anyway, continue.
No fucking way! Yeah, there's no... Like, it's so common in horror movies, like, it's just like a... Or a... Oh, shit! Nah, it was real.
Yeah.
He looked at it, and he was... Because it was 5 seconds. It was one moment. He just looks at it, he stops, closes his eyes, and he cries. And then he explodes. Yeah. Because it's that... He's come face to face with it. Like, there's that instant moment. Your brain runs at 1,000 miles a minute. It runs through every possibility, and you go, nah, I'm dead.
Yeah.
In the next 5 seconds, I'm going to blow up and die. And that one moment suddenly informs everything about that character. It like, throughout the whole movie, he's been like that because he doesn't want to fucking die. Because he's like, I'm going to die. I don't want to die. I super fucking enjoy living. That was awesome. Yeah. Like, every single character reacts that way. There's another guy who is literally flung into space.
Yeah, and like, Cooper was like I was saying, when he gets flung into space, I loved Cooper.
Cooper's the best.
Yeah, when he got flung into space, I love how he's like, he's freaking out, but he's sort of like, I'm just going to do this. Like, I'm going to do this, it's going to work. It's going to work.
And that was just it. It was so interesting to see, because it felt like an experienced space crew. That was his job.
Yeah.
His job was rescue
missions. How do you describe himself? Like, he described it as just like, I can't remember. He described himself in such a way like, I'm your best friend, or like, I'm the guy who fixes things. And like, that's literally what he does. He gets like pulled for odd jobs. Like, Smitty's like welding the hull, go and help. He's like, sure, I'll do it. Yeah. That's
like his whole character, everything about his character is informed by his job and his personality. At no point are you told like, Smitty's the ingenuity one. He's the one that'll get you out of a jam. It's like, it's done well through his job description, through how people describe him, just talking and stuff. And then you see it in action. It's one of those things they set it up. So when he's flying through space and he's like, I'm fucked, oh shit, gotta do this thing. And his plan is, alright, I'm going to hold this tube, I'm going to purge my entire air tank, I'm going to launch myself back to the ship. When he does it, you've seen the messages, you've heard how everyone's talked about him, you've seen him solve problems, well, you go like, yeah, I legit believe that. I believe he could make it back to the ship doing that.
Yeah. Spoilers, he does.
Spoilers, he does.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, like, the crew in this, it was great. Like, all the characters, because one of the things that gives me the shits with horror movies and thriller movies and stuff like that is just constant, like, illogical decisions. Like, the killer's in the bottom floor of the house. I'll go up to the second story. You idiot. Go outside of the house. Go away.
Leave.
Shit like
Leave.
that. But, like... Alright, I'm gonna gush about Miller. Captain Miller.
Oh!
Fantastic. Like,
best captain in fiction.
They rock up and they're really just like, things aren't right, and he's like, we're gone. That's it. Like,
no,
fix the ship. Let's go.
That's the best fucking moment in the movie when they finally decrypt the fucked up video.
Yep.
It's like, oh, this is the transmission. This is the captain's log. And you see him. You see everyone torturing each other. They're flaying each other. They're dying. I think it was the captain or someone. It was the captain. It was the guy who spoke Latin. Had ripped his own eyes out and had like put them to the camera. No scream. There was no screaming. There was no reaction. There was like no. There was no again like what the fuck. It was just Captain was like, we're leaving.
Yep. It was perfect.
Yeah. You see fucked up shit. You leave.
Yeah. Honestly, you only see the actual captain of the Event Horizon twice. Like once in the video of them about to leave, and then once when he's like
all fucked up
doing the eye thing.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. Just speak English.
Oh.
No one thinks you're cool.
That's the whole thing of like.
When he,
I went to university. I got my piloting degree or whatever the fuck it was. I'm an officer in the Space Force.
He does that only thing where he speaks Latin and says it in English. It's like
fuck off. We don't give a shit. It's like I took Latin as a minor in college. Like I don't care.
Yeah,
it's fucking no one cares. Just speak English.
Point and say make it so. Love you for it.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
When shit's going down, just say save yourself. None of this Latin shit that can be misconstrued.
Captain Jesse, things are getting weird. What are we gonna do? Do the thing.
Press the button. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Do the thing. Get the fuck
Aren't you gonna say it in Latin, sir? No. Fucking Jimmy, no.
Ensign Jimmy.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Alright, do I want to get into the ship now?
I just want to say one final thing about the crew before we drop that.
Mm-hmm.
Just hats off to the crew of this movie for being the only crew in any space movie, I would say tentatively nay, in any horror movie, to have the horror shit happen to them, and at no point was it their own fault.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single decision made in this entire film by any character that puts them in further danger. Except for we are the crazy guy.
Yeah. Or like the medical officer following the kid who was absolutely an illusion. But I think like there's a bit of mind control happening there.
Oh, 100%. Because you see evidence with Johnny Justin, the kid, the youngest one of
the engineer.
Yeah, the engineer.
See, like the fact that I know what their jobs are.
See?
Yeah.
See?
One of the mazes of this movie. The crew was great, and yeah.
Yeah, you feel bad when they die too. It's fucked up. No, there's clearly a moment when he's being controlled by something. He's being influenced to put himself in an airlock. And then the influence goes away when he's like, "Oh God, what the fuck's happening?"
Yeah, let's get into like some of the way some of the crew gets like fucked up.
Oh boy!
Yeah, so like the engineer, I'm gonna fact check this. It's Johnny or Jimmy or Jason or something like that.
Well, while you're looking that up, we'll jump back to the medical officer,
Ensign Justin, chief engineer of the Lewis and Clark.
Ensign Justin. The medical officer gets taken out, fucking chasing a hallucination of her kid. And again, that was another cool thing about this. The evil in this ship. Not until the very end does it become a tangible force.
Yeah.
This chick dies chasing a hallucination of her kid 100% died of something fucked up, and that's why she's all like skewed.
Yeah, because she also sees her son at one point like on a hospital bed with gangrene over his legs and all that, and I think you see her like watching it. Oh wait, no. Her son's alive because at the start she's watching like a video footage of him at a birthday party, and the captain's like, sorry you had to miss it.
Well, so that's even more fucked up shit then, because it's like there's that missing of something that still exists.
Yeah. And
you're tired. There's also like that whole idea of they're not breathing good air. Like their air is getting thinner and thinner by the hour.
Yeah.
And at that point, they're panicking. They're trying to get the fuck out. She's pretty fucking. Her mind's gone.
Yeah.
And the fact that she just falls down a shaft.
Yeah,
and
so she chases an illusion and like it just pretty much walks her off the edge of like a gantry, a walkway. And when she hits the ground, she hits the ground.
She has a rough time on the way down.
Yeah.
There's so many points in that shaft.
So many splacky things over the ship. We're talking about crew stuff. Then I'm gonna rant about.
There's a lot of spikes. It's a spiky thing.
Yeah.
Justin, was it? Sorry.
Yeah. Ensign Justin.
Fuck! We looked it up and then I forgot.
I'm going to use a different name each time. So anyway, Ensign J-Dog.
J-Dog. Yeah, J-Dog dies in an hour.
Yeah, J-Dog, Justin, Jason.
Oh, actually, no, Jimmy. Spoilers again for this 23-year-old movie. Doesn't die. It doesn't technically die.
Yeah, all right.
Almost dies.
So yeah, he initially, because there's a gravity drive engine in this ship, and when it activates, it opens the portal that allows the ship to like punch through into like across space and time. At one point, he gets like sucked into this like mini portal that gets made in the engine. Then when he comes out, he's Like, clearly...
Oh, he's
he-
100%
he's like-
seen hell.
Yeah, he's seen hell, he's comatose for a bit, and then when he wakes up, he's influenced.
Mm.
He's, like, under the influence of something. And yeah, that bit in the airlock is really fucked up. So they find him in the airlock, and he's about to let himself out, and they're just like, don't do it, stop. And he's like, no, I'm gonna do it. And then the moment, like, he presses the button, it's like the influence just leaves him.
Yeah.
And he's immediately just like, shit, what
Too
am I gonna
late.
do? Yeah, and so he gets blown out into space, but doesn't die, because you see, like, the veins under his skin start to rupture, like, he's got blood coming from orifices on his face.
So that I thought was really cool. Because the whole time, like, it's still so grounded in reality. Because that's how you go. With that slight pressure change, without the pressure of the atmosphere keeping all your fluids and your air in your body, your shit just bursts. You suddenly become a fucking balloon under a shitload of pressure. And that's why when you see him afterwards, he's got cuts all up and down his fucking legs, because all his fucking major vessels are blown.
Yeah.
Cool thing is you actually see Captain Miller, again, best captain, as he's, like, flying through space to get to him. He's just, like, he gives him
The instructions give him just, like, empty your lungs, curl up. Because, like, if your lungs are full, you're gonna pop.
Yeah. It's so good. And that's the cool thing. It's really fucked up. But he ends up surviving.
Yeah.
As brutal as that death was.
Yeah. Yeah, so shout out to Lawrence Fishburne playing Miller.
Fucking dude. And again, like, this is another reason why I wish a director's cut existed of this film. Because there's so many good bits, and I think it just would have deserved an expansion. So much. Now that I think about it, I think there really were only 3 fatalities.
I'm just reading here. So Smitty, the pilot, he gets blown up.
The other medical officer dies, doesn't he?
Yep.
Oh shit!
We forgot about that. All right. So.
It's so clear in my mind now.
Yeah. How did we forget? That's the worst one.
That's the worst one.
So, the medical doctor, DJ, played by Jason Isaacs, he gets pretty much like flayed and spread eagled in his
Spread
guts.
eagled. That's how I describe it.
Hung up by meat hooks and just cut.
Pretty much cut open.
But this is an interesting touch, which I don't know if I missed something, but when I think, because is it Justin who's being controlled that cuts him open, or is it someone else? No, or is it?
It's Weir.
It's Weir. Yeah. I just fucking up. Yeah. When Weir goes to cut him open, he pulls the shirt open. You can see that he's already got a scar.
So he was in the military or something. So he'd already been split open. That was another one of those cool elements of the evil in this movie, that it feeds off of your past traumas.
Yeah. So he gets like split and
split. Yeah, that was a moment, man. As he comes to, because it's all the really fucked up shit. They did a good job, obviously, editing this film to, like, pull back on the fucked up shit whilst leaving the fucked up shit in there. That was a moment where, like, you can't get around that, because you just come in and your back feels weird just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's strung up by his back, by his wrists, and he's pretty much just been sort of cut open and everything's been left to
spill out.
Yeah, just go where it will. Thwomp. Thwomp, wet slap. Because that was another element, like, even Weir. The stages of how fucked up Weir gets. Because he's mentally unstable the whole fucking movie.
Look, you saw what that shit looked like. He was fucked from the get-go.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But that moment when he's clawed out his eyes, he then stitches them back together, and then he becomes like... Because you notice he sort of comes back, the ship brings him back.
Yeah, because he's like with his eyes and stuff.
Yeah, and he's got like all his skin's all cut up and whatever. Very similar to how the previous captain was cut up. And again, like the same with the eye imagery.
Yeah.
So like becomes a sort of vessel of it, and just brutal.
Yeah.
Alright. We've been holding back. Talk about the spikes, Luke.
Why the fuck is this ship so spiky? So, like, the engine room, which is like the heart of the ship, this is the core thing that lets it do what it has to do, is covered in spikes. And
the door's got teeth.
The door has teeth. There's a door in the back that looks like a coffin.
Yep.
And at one point, like, something crucial breaks, and so Weir has to climb in to fix it, and he pulls off, like, one of 1,000 identical panels to find it. Why?
Why? And
that's not so spiky. You're gonna get a cut.
Well, that was the thing. When the chick was falling, I was like, she's getting impaled on something, right? Like, that's...
Because, of course, like, the air shaft is also covered in fucking spikes.
But that was it. It's got weird fucking triangular spikes in the air shaft. You got to have a moment, right? When thinking about movies and thinking about the events that have to lead to events in the film, who the fuck was working on Event Horizon with Weir?
Yeah.
And didn't look at him and go, "You alright, man?"
Yeah.
Because his wife killed herself recently.
The stage of this, like, he would have, like, designed it, and then, like, he wouldn't have just done it by himself. He would have had to, like, approve it for funding and go through all these steps and all that. People would have approved the design to actually, like, make it happen, and then... Sure, they look at him and like, this is not right.
Passing over those blueprints at the board meeting should have been a big red flag for, are you okay, buddy?
Are you okay?
Because like biblical imagery is quite prevalent throughout all of this. Because even what would you call it? Like what's it called when like the front of the ship that you look out the bridge?
Yeah, the bridge.
The window, the big screen on the bridge. It's like a big cross. There was the way that the Doctor was sort of hung up.
Yeah.
Again, the whole idea of hell and the hell dimension, very biblical. The coffin, like the very satanic style of the engine room. Like the sections of the walls, the support beams looks like spines and shit. Like the more you go through the movie, the more sort of like organic you notice that the ship is designed.
Yeah.
Again, this ship had to be built by people. By humans.
Yeah, by, like, sane people. Maybe, like, headed up by an insane person, but, you know.
But, had to be put together by sane people. The ship would have been worth so much money.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, God. Well, because because this ship is huge.
Yeah,
when you say,
massive.
when you see the Lewis and Clark rock up, it's big. Lewis and Clark's air tunnel thing, bit like a dick. Had to say it.
Did you notice the cheeky fucking, the gate they attached to was gate 13?
Woo! Spooky!
Okay, we've talked about the good. Let's talk a little bit about the bad.
Alright.
It is haunted, to use the right word.
I know what my favourite bad bit is.
By some 90s bullshit.
Yeah.
When the young boy is about to like fucking die in the what is it called, the airlock, but he's still like being controlled. He's like, "What is this?" Like, "The dark." "What do you mean?" "The dark inside me." Like,
I've become so numb.
All right, kid, pull out your fucking eyeliner.
All right, so my favorite, not even a bad bit. This is probably my favorite entire fucking movie. Is that one take when Weir's just like,
Oh fuck!
He has a vision, or it's a vision or a dream or something. He just looks straight at the camera.
His wife! He sees his wife and she opens her eyes and shock and awe, she has no eyes, and he just looks straight at the camera. Because it's not even like the cut isn't even like half like mid scream. You see him, mouth closed. Ah! Oh, fuck.
The moment we're done here, I'm rewatching that one scene. Oh, God.
We peaked the audio so bad.
Good.
I think, yeah, there was to sort of give a bit of opposite, to make an opposite observation of this film that I made with Blade Runner. Films from the 80s, all those sort of limitations created by the cameras, the microphones, which we'll get at with our the next movie we'll be talking about with our Spookapalooza in space.
Hint.
Is worked together to create like a really interesting identity for all those movies. You know, they sound kind of tinny and it's kind of nice and it's like I'm watching a fucking movie from the 80s.
Yeah, but
the same thing happened for the 90s, except it was bad.
Yeah, like everything's got like a certain, I don't know what the word is, like maybe a bit of a haze to it.
Yeah, it's the 90s haze. It's the 90s sort of edge. There's a little bit of 90s edge to everything. The way the lines are delivered, the way everyone speaks, like fucking Lawrence Fishburne, man. Because he says some wonky shit in that movie, but he makes it work.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing about the rest of the crew is like half of them aren't that good actors because we don't know who they are. So in the past 23 years, they haven't really blossomed into a fucking mad career. So they still sort of struggle with some of those lines. and the 90s CG is bad.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the sign of the times, but they fucking went for it.
Oh, they did. It would have been pretty fucking cool at the time, but it was all those little bits to sort of take you out of it. It's interesting that.
Yeah, was it like the one shot where he's like moving away like the floating coolant on the monitor?
Yeah, it's rough. It's Spy Kids 3D rough.
Yeah, but that's just what you expect. This movie's from '97. Spy Kids is from like 2000
something.
4?
We'll get there. Maybe the Void will bring us some Spy Kids.
Oh my god, I'd do that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I saw Spy Kids 3D at the cinemas.
Same. With the glasses?
With the cardboard ones?
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I just think it's interesting, like, the 80s movies have this identity that does nothing but lend to the quality of it.
Mm.
But 90s have the same kind of identity, but it's almost always bad.
Yeah.
So.
But in an endearing sort of way. Oh, something else I want to talk about is, the miniatures.
Oh, yeah?
Because, like, the two ships are, like, full miniatures.
Yeah.
It's just good, I like that.
Yeah.
I like good stuff.
Well, I really enjoy the design of the Event Horizon. It's, if nothing else, man, it's a fucking really interesting future ship.
It reminded me a lot of it's a Klingon ship. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it.
Mach.
Yeah, Klingon.
I probably just offended somebody.
Katinga? Maybe. Actually, it could be close. I've seen the word written. I don't know if I can say it out loud. But, and it also reminded me a lot of the Discovery from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, yeah?
In fact, it's got, like, this big head and, like, a long tube behind it. But, yeah.
Nice.
I won't bother looking up an image of it. I'm sure there's someone, like, rapidly typing in the comments. Like, it's called a...
Come on, man. We know you.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Not cool.
We'll wait.
Final thoughts on Event Horizon?
Pretty good.
Pretty fucking good.
I'll definitely come back to it.
Hell yeah, I would definitely add it to your Spookapalooza list if you're looking for some fucking fun like 90s movies. Oh yeah, man, give it a spin.
Fucking hell, it's Katinga.
Oh shit. Katinga.
And that's how it's written. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced.
Oh yeah, I see the little
yeah.
skinny neck, big ass.
Yeah, skinny neck, big ass. No you. Damn boy, she thick. That's a thick ass ship.
Damn boy, she thick. That's a thick ass ship. Damn boy.
Yeah, no, Event Horizon. I'm definitely gonna come back to it. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, I would 100% agree with you. I fully enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Despite all its challenges and being a really good movie, it's a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
Don't listen to what Metacritic has to say.
Yeah.
It's got like
watch it for yourself. Enjoy it.
Yeah, watch it for yourself and enjoy it. It's on Netflix now, probably, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, that's right. The Void presented it to us.
Yeah.
It just sort of appeared as a screen in the Void.
As a screen, muffled in a screen.
Yeah. Oh my god. Something I read last night though, which I'd like to talk about for a little bit, is that apparently, as of last year, they announced that they're currently in production or like in early stages of an Event Horizon TV series.
That's gonna be really fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase that. That has to be really fucked up.
So I just don't know. I don't know how they'll do it.
No idea. I have no idea how you take a strong concept movie like that into a long form like a show.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 6 episode special. Fucking down.
Yeah.
But
that being said, we're currently watching Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
And that's done that pretty well.
You're right. Actually,
But it's also done it sort of completely differently.
It's done it very. The whole idea is that you have to take it quite a ways away from how the movie did it.
Yeah,
but it is possible.
Maybe instead of them like going through the thing and immediately getting fucked, it's like it follows like them because the Event Horizon like flew out to a point, then tripped and then went. So what if it's like follows it flying out to the point, and as they're flying out to the point, like little weird things are going on. They're just
okay. Wait, here we go.
Right. We're gonna pitch the Event Horizon TV series.
That's what we're gonna do.
All right.
And how are we gonna do it?
With the genre wheel.
I was gonna say from the ground up.
From the ground up. Genre wheel. Nah.
Fuck. How would you make a fucking Event Horizon TV series? Because I have an idea.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably. My first thought is like to do it, like I said just then, like follow it like an episodic thing of them traveling from point A to point B to get ready to test the engine, and as they're traveling, they're realizing that things are not quite right, but as they get further and further away from Earth, they can't exactly just turn around and come back. So they're just like, do we have to commit, or do we have to abandon this thing that we've been working at for ages and ages? And then things can just get spooky, and then What do you think? What do you think?
What I'm thinking is like sort of taking your idea of like where would the original crew or something and like how it's going to get there, and sort of use that as a setup episode. But then the meat of the series of again, I think it would only go for like maybe 6 episodes. So the first episode would end with like someone discovering the ship and discovering some fucked up shit, being like, oh, this is what hell would be like. It's face wise. It's got just all the body mutilation. Some good juicy bits of and then each episode is a different character's experience.
Yeah,
because that whole idea of like it's a personalized hell, right? And then so you can sort of you can sort of like twist it around and use the body horror, use all the other kind of stuff, that sense of isolation, like, and then what you can do is you can sort of overlay that, because the cool theme with Event Horizon is the fact that it's all in their heads. So like you could have a character sort of go mad and they could be like cutting people up or something like that, and then in a different episode it's from their perspective, so that you can see what they're trying to do.
So like, what if every episode actually takes place at the exact same time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, so like in one episode you'll see like follow a character doing something, and you'll see like character B walk behind them, and then in like the next episode you'll see from character B's perspective of them walking behind them, following like a fucked up.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, like I
like that a lot.
I feel like that's how you can take, because that's what was cool about Event Horizon, was like it's really weird fucked up shit that you sort of lose the shock value for if you do it long form.
Yeah.
So yeah, if each episode was the same period of time, different characters' experience, different personalized hell, you can keep that intrigue and that sort of fear that comes with that. Because I feel like horror series, I feel struggle quite a bit. The best horror series I can think of right now in recent memory is Haunting of Hill House. Fucking ace show. But even that show struggled to keep up the tension, particularly in the middle. First 3 episodes, woo! Nice. The meat of it, very fucking interesting show. Like, ooh, bugging me. Was glued to my seat the whole time. Less spooky. Didn't struggle to hold the tension. Because you can't hold the tension for 10 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the climax was kind of good. So it's like 3 episodes, great. 4 or 5 episodes, pretty alright. Like, really, really good, but not so spooky. Last episode, whoosh!
Nice.
This way, we sort of turn that on its head. So each episode's a bit of a new experience. So you sort of, I would say they go for maybe 40 minutes. So it's sort of like...
And then you can do a season 2 with the Lewis and Clark group.
Exactly! Like, you can do that next sort of step. And it's more or less, it's less like a series and more like a collection of short film. Yeah. So it's not like...
It'd be an anthology series.
Yeah. It's not like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'd be like epilogue, Sarah, John, Steve, David, prologue.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right.
Whoever's making it,
please hit us up.
We'll come up with some shit for you.
Yeah. Just help us get out of this void, please.
Oh,
use your dimension punching spaceship and just
hitch a ride. Hitch a ride on the highway to hell. Couldn't help myself. It was right there.
He's done it. Look at that audio picking.
Fuck.
Oh, dude.
It's a weird time when someone complicates that for you. That was that level of today.